Today's video is a commonly asked question. Is investing in stocks hard? We are going to dive into this topic and discover how hard it really is to invest in stocks. I am Tiffany Thomas, your wealth mentor. I achieved financial freedom in my 30s and became a millionaire at 40. I'm here to help you do that even earlier and easier. So let's dive right in. All right, if you are curious about investing in stocks, but a little afraid of the complexity of doing so, then today's video is for you. All right, so how hard is investing in stocks? I'm going to cover that topic and then give you some tips on how to make it easier for you to invest in stocks. And I will also share my own story on investing in stocks. Investing in stocks may seem difficult at first, but once you have the knowledge and understanding on how to invest in stocks, and having a disciplined mindset is really going to help you invest in stocks very easily. And that way you can invest your money and make it work for you so that you can achieve your financial goals. One key factor when investing in stocks to make it less challenging is education. By educating ourselves about the stock market and how to purchase stocks, it is going to be a lot less challenging and feel a lot less overwhelming. We can learn the different terms about investing in stocks and discover how simply we can really do this. We can educate ourselves through videos like this, of course. We can also read books. I happen to have a book that I wrote, which I talk about how I was able to become financially free by investing in the stock market and in real estate. So I walk you through the steps on how to invest your money in stocks. If you're interested in the book, I will leave a link below in the description. You can click on that and get your very own copy. We can also take courses about investing in stocks and find those that are successful with stock market investing so that we can ask them questions, or we can also get a financial coach. But the more that we can educate ourselves about stocks, then the less intimidating it is going to feel. And then the second point to make investing in stocks less hard is to realize that we don't need to be an expert about the stock market. We don't need to have a background in finance. We don't need to have a certificate saying we are a financial advisor or things like that. We don't need to have all of those credentials and be super skilled with investing in the stock market or super knowledgeable. We can just learn the basics, the fundamentals, and we can actually be successful with investing in stocks. We don't have to spend so much time analyzing every single stock that we want to invest in or everything about the stock market. There's just certain fundamentals that we can learn and still be successful. And then the third thing that can help make investing in stocks easier is to manage our risk when we are investing in stocks. If we are just buying one single company and putting all of our money in that company, that is going to be really high risk and cause a lot of stress on ourselves. So if we can manage that risk, we are going to be a lot more successful, and it's going to be a lot easier because we won't be so stressed about investing in the stock market. For example, we can choose an index fund that has a whole bunch of stocks inside of it, and that way we're buying one single fund, but we are able to manage that risk because we are diversifying our investments. And the fourth thing to help make stock investing easier is to really keep our emotions in check. If we can have a long-term perspective when we are investing, we are going to be a lot more successful because we aren't going to be so nervous about losing all of our money or watching the stock market every single day. If we have our emotions in check, if we aren't super fearful and we aren't super greedy, then we aren't going to be buying when prices are really high and then selling when prices are really low. We want to do the opposite. And if we can keep our emotions in check, we are able to do that because we aren't buying or selling based on fear or greed. We are setting a long-term financial goal and investing for the long term, and that way we aren't so worried about things in the short term. Honestly, is investing in stocks hard? It's really not hard if we can keep these things in mind, right? If we can educate ourselves on the fundamentals, not on everything, so that we aren't feeling overwhelmed and we're actually getting started in the stock market. And then also we can remember that we don't need to be an expert in investing in stocks to be successful. And then if we are able to manage our risk by diversifying our investments, that is going to help us invest a lot easier. And then remembering to keep those emotions in check is really going to benefit us as well. And I want to share about when I was first getting started in the stock market. I wanted to buy my first stock, right? I had a 401k and was invested in some funds, but I didn't really understand what I was invested in. And I had seen success with some of my friends that were investing in the stock market, and I wanted to try it for myself. So I did a lot of research. I educated myself and I purchased my first stock. And honestly, the first one that I purchased wasn't on the best terms. I didn't understand really what I was investing in. I didn't know the company. I just went to a blog and the blogger made a recommendation. And so I thought, okay, I'll just buy this recommendation without really understanding what the company was about. And once I did that, I started thinking, you know what, Tiffany, that's not the best approach. I can do a little more research and invest in companies that I actually understand, and even in companies that I use. For example, one of the stocks that I purchased in the beginning was Facebook. I was using Facebook. A lot of my friends were using Facebook. And so I thought, okay, I can purchase a share of Facebook. And I purchased a few more stocks after that of companies that I was familiar with. And that felt a lot better than just getting a hot tip from a blogger that I didn't even know. So by doing my own research and educating myself and feeling comfortable with what I was investing in, I was a lot more successful with the stocks that I started to purchase after doing that. And then also once I discovered index funds and I found one of my favorite funds, which if you want to know what that is, I have another video. I'll leave a link above. You can check it out later on. But once I saw that I could invest in one single fund and have a whole bunch of stocks inside of that one fund, I thought, oh, this is a lot easier. And I don't have to really keep my eye on the index fund like I do with my individual stocks. So that made stock investing even easier for me. And while I have seen higher returns with some of the individual stocks that I have purchased, the return on the index fund is still really, really great. So that's where I put the majority of my money now. And I still do have about 10 individual stocks that I invest in. So if you want investing in stocks to be very easy instead of very hard, you can definitely just choose an index fund and make your investing pretty much passive. And now I'm going to share a few tips with you on how to make this a lot easier for yourself. The first thing, like we mentioned before, is to start with the basics. You want to have a basic understanding of how the stock market works and any companies that you are choosing to invest in. And then the second item is to set your investing goal. What is it that you are working toward? What do you want to accomplish? Do you want to just kind of have fun and get some experience with the stock market? Or do you want to be more serious and set a specific goal to retire with a certain amount by a certain age? Once you set your investing goal, you are going to be a lot more successful with your investments because you know why you're investing. So you know what type of return you're looking for. You know how active or how passive you want to be with your investing. And then the third item is to make sure and diversify your portfolio. I mentioned this before. It really helps to manage that risk when you are investing in the stock market. If you're investing in just one single company, that is a really high risk because if that company goes out of business, then you are going to lose your money. But if you are diversified, for example, in an index fund, then if one company inside of the index fund goes out of business, it doesn't really make that much of a difference because there's so many other companies in that single index fund. And honestly, if you are finding that investing in stocks is hard for you, I have a free masterclass where I go over how I can help you invest in the stock market very simply. I'll leave a link to that masterclass below in the description. You can click on that link and check out the free masterclass. And I do want to mention that investing in stocks used to be a lot harder. We did not have so many brokerage firms, and there was not a lot of education about investing in stocks. So times have changed just over the past few years. And honestly, when you were buying an individual stock with a brokerage firm like Vanguard or Fidelity, you had to pay a commission fee every single time you bought and sold that company. So you were paying a lot more for that investment. Luckily, hardly any of the brokerage firms have commission fees now. So it's a lot cheaper to invest in stocks and a lot easier now. So I feel really blessed that we are able to invest in the stock market on our own and do it very simply. Comment below and tell me if you think investing in stocks is hard. And if you found this video helpful, please hit that like button and share it with someone else who would like to hear this information. And hit the subscribe button to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and hit the little bell to get notified on when I post new videos. And if you want to see even more cool content from me, make sure and check out the videos on the side of the screen. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.